Okay, so you're back. You've collected your thoughts. What happened?
Yeah. So I've never really said this, but I usually do the hot dish here. But oddly, I'm the dish today. It's not every day. It's not every day your travels ends up in TMZ. But so let me just to get started and tell you kind of what happened. I know a lot of you probably read a little bit about it in the New York Post or TMZ. I was on a flight from New York City LaGuardia to Minneapolis. It was flight 2313, and we were trying to fly home on Tuesday. And we got on the plane. It was delayed, like a lot of flights right now because of the government shutdown. We had about a 2-hour delay. We were used to it. We had a delay flying in. And we get in the aircraft. And let me stop. This will be about 3 times that I say this. I want to be very clear. I want to give a shout out to the crew of 2313. They were wonderful. They shepherded us through what's getting ready to happen. But we boarded the airplane and, we had a little bit of a delay. We sat there for a little longer than normal, but we started to taxi. And as we started to taxi, we were trying to get in place, and then the plane stopped. And that's normal. We've all had that, right? It's like, okay, so we stop and, you know how you get in position and the flight attendant comes, you're fifth for takeoff. None of that happened. But we're standing there, and then 10 minutes roll on, and then 20 minutes roll on, and then 30 minutes roll on. And we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden the captain comes on. And he says something along the lines of, and I tried to remember everything, it says something along the lines of, hi, everybody, this is your captain. We got to do, and I remember the word paperwork. We have to do a little bit of paperwork. There's an issue. There's like a maintenance issue or something. Stand by. So we're sitting there and we're like, okay. And then all of a sudden, like the captain was driving a Ford Fiesta, the damn plane he starts to drive. Like not like to put us into position to take off. We start moving farther and farther and farther away from the airport. And there's a gentleman in front of me. Now, to give geographically, let me tell you where I am on the airplane. I'm in row 15. That'll be important in a second. So I'm sitting there, and in front of me, I hear a gentleman talking. I'm eavesdropping. Let's be clear. I'm eavesdropping. He's saying he works for somebody, an airline or something. And when he looked outside to see that the plane was moving away from LaGuardia, this was his quote. "Oh, that's not good." And I thought, I don't want to hear that.
No.
Audience, no joke. About 2 seconds later, Leo rolled the first video. This is what I see outside my window. The airplane is surrounded by officials. It's surrounded by cops and Broncos. I think freaking OJ was there. I mean, it was like, and then that was the right side of the plane. And then I looked on the left side of the plane, and there were more cops and more SUVs and more Port Authority vehicles. Our plane was surrounded. And then the guy said again, and I quote, "Well, this really isn't good." So then the captain, that happened for about 20 minutes. Nobody was being told anything, which we understand. We shouldn't. Take care of business. They kept us safe. Then the captain comes over about 20 minutes later, and he says the words I never thought I would hear aboard an aircraft. This isn't verbatim, ladies and gentlemen of the flight. Federal officials will be boarding the rear of the plane. Please stay in your seat. And I thought, well, that ain't normal.
No,
that's not normal.
That's not.
And he said, please stay in your seat. And at that moment, this is why where I'm sitting is important. I turn around. I see everyone go like this. And everyone turns around, and officials, Port Authority, police are in the back of the aircraft. They came in through the rear, and they're talking to a guy. I don't know if it's one guy. I don't know if it's two guys. And everyone's looking. Everyone turns. Everyone, I will say, is calm. Here's another little shout out I will say as I sprinkle these through. I couldn't have asked for more calm, wonderful people than everybody in that flight. And I'm also grateful. I know I make a lot of jokes about kids, but I'm glad there's only like 1 or 2 kids. So we had no kids freaking out. No, because I didn't want them to be scared. I like kids on a case-by-case basis, but I certainly didn't want them freaking out on this flight. But everybody was very calm, but everyone's looking like, what the heck? And then the guy comes back over the speaker and he goes, it is time for you to leave. Like basically, like, grab your stuff, we are deplaning, which we kind of figured out at this point. So then we walk off the back of the plane, and there is a outdoor staircase lined with Port Authority officials helping us down the staircase, and there's the tarmac, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So we get on the tarmac, no one's really telling us anything, so we're all going like this. Like all of us are just, so here's the video. So I used to be an anchor. I used to do the news. So I went into full reporter mode because somebody recognized me and they said, yo, get on Instagram and try to get some answers. And which I cracked up. So here I am, I'm going live on Instagram and I'm showing the scene. We're out there. As you can see, most of us are middling around. There are buses out there. Some passengers are on the buses, but nobody's really telling us anything, which is a little frustrating, but I get it. They're trying to keep us safe. So then we get on the buses. Another bus pulls up. The one cop looks at me and he goes, get on that one. We're like, thank you, sir. We love you. Again, the Port Authority, God bless you. They're not getting checks. You know, the TSA agents aren't getting. So we know nothing at this point, but I start getting messages from people that I know in the biz. Again, I used to be an anchor, and thanks to our friends at Thrifty Traveler, they were working their sources. Come to find out, it was a bomb threat. A bomb threat was called in, phoned in, something. Also, we had heard, my husband played Inspector Gadget 2. He had heard from people in the back of the plane, and allegedly, a gentleman, as we were taxiing, unbuckled his seatbelt and started standing up and mumbling things. Now, that is allegedly what happened in the back of the plane that probably caused further worry. We don't know if the guy standing up was connected to the threat. We don't know if the threat came from him, if it was separate, if it was a horrible coincidence. All we know is that happened in the back of the plane. We heard from our affiliate in New York, Fox 5, hello friends, that it was a bomb threat. But nobody was, we were learning more from the news and Thrifty Traveler than we were from any official, which we get, which we understand. They had a job to do and they did it brilliantly. We get back to the terminal, and it's not like we expected Mr. Rourke and Tattoo to be greeting us, but I'd like, thank you. Two people that were alive in the 70s got that reference. But we get back to LaGuardia, and nobody knows what to do.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling us anything. Is our flight canceled? Are we being rebooked? Where's our luggage? What do we do? We went back through security, and it's almost over. Here's two pieces of humor, or my first piece of humor. As we're all in a serpentine line to go back through security, because that's, I guess, what we have to do, we receive all of our phones start going off. It was an automated text message from Delta that read the following: your flight has been delayed.
Right, yeah, thanks.
Really, Delta? Really? So we went back through security, we got done. This poor, and this is my last shout out, these people aren't getting paid. But this sweet TSA agent, who I regret not getting her name, everyone went through security and they surrounded this poor woman. And she was like 4'5", and I'm only telling you her size because I felt so bad for her. This one business guy was like, what's happening? And everyone's like, guy, you know, we calm down, dude. Everyone's trying to get answers. She's not even from Delta, and she's trying to help us, you know, tell us what to do. So to you, whoever you are, God bless you. You're not getting paid, and you still took care of us. So thank you very much. We ended up getting a hotel. There's two people at the help desk at Delta dealing with 200 of us. And again, nobody was getting answers. No one was really telling us what to do. It was a kind of a cluster. So to the two people at the help desk at LaGuardia at Delta, thank you. You're really the only reps, other than our wonderful crew of 2313, that really helped us. We're safe. That's all that matters. But it was crazy. Before we go to break, I just want to say this. I texted this to Fallon. I know that for the sake of the show, I can be dramatic and over the top and you know thyself. I know myself. Can I tell you though something, guys? when I got back to the hotel and the adrenaline stopped and just the nervousness of worrying about the show and worrying about filing the vacation day and all this stuff, I'm laying in bed, and it scared the daylights out of me because I thought of what could have happened, and I thought, and there's nothing dramatic about that. It was just I laid in bed, as we often do when we worry about bills or your family or medical stuff. I laid in bed and I'm like, oh my God, what a crazy ass world we live in, that our plane was evacuated because of a bomb threat, and what could have happened. And it didn't happen because of good people at LaGuardia, good people at the TSA and of Port Authority, and the smattering of people at Delta. So as I sit here today, I'm grateful to be looking at you, and I'm grateful to everyone that helped us. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody.